What's up, dudes? Welcome back to Potted Plant Entertainment. My name is Theodore Esquire. Wait, what's that Bill's name? I don't know. Anyways, welcome back to Potted Plant Entertainment. My name is Chris, and in case you don't know, I review movies and I rank them on a scale of 0 to 100 in increments of 5. Today, we are going to be talking about the brand new movie, Bill and Ted Face the Music. This is the third movie in the Bill and Ted series. The last one came out in the first one came out in the late 90s, the last one came out in the early 90s. First one came out early 80s, and the last one came out early 90s. And now this one has just been released yesterday, actually, from when I'm recording this anyways. I just got a chance to see it. There's a vlog of my trip to go see it. That is my current newest video on my channel. Please go check that out. I certainly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and talk about the movie. Okay, so Bill and Ted Face the Music stars Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves, Kristen Schaal, Samara Weaving, Bridget Lundy Payne, William Sadler, Anthony Carrigan, Aaron Hayes, Jayma Mays, and Hal Landon Jr. It was directed by Dean Parasot and is produced by, okay, we got quite a few here, so get ready. Ray Boudreau, Courtney Chen, Patrick W. Dagan, Scott Fisher, Grant Guthrie, Christian Mercury, John Ray Jr., John Santilli Jr., and Steven Soderbergh. Yeah, that's a lot. By the way, in case you can hear crickets outside, I apologize. I'm filming this like right after I get home from the movie. Movie started at 7:30, ended around 9. But I just put some stuff up against this to hopefully block out, because I'm sitting right next to a window, and I'm put some stuff up to it to hopefully block out some of that cricket noises, but I do apologize if you can hear it. Okay, so this movie, Bill and Ted, they basically, for the last 25 years, they have been trying their best to write the song that will unite everyone throughout time, because that was what they were destined to do, and they've been trying to write that song. They started out as rock gods. So at the end of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, they became rock gods, right? Well, this one, they're kind of a failure. They were great, and then they fell off the map, and they still cannot seem to write that song. And so in the future, they're getting really worried. And so they come back from the future to bring Bill and Ted to the future, and they're like, hey, write this song. Seriously, or like, we're all in trouble. Like, the world is going to end if you don't write this song. And so Bill and Ted are like, okay, well, we can't write this song because we've been trying to for 25 years and we can't do it. So how about we just go to the future and steal it from ourselves? And all the while, their marriages are in trouble, and their daughters are trying to help them by taking a time machine of their own and going to all these different times in history and gathering some of the greatest musicians of all time together to help them make this song. I will say that this was the worst of the trilogy, for sure. I was hoping it would be a little bit better than Bogus Journey. I knew it wasn't going to be near as good as the first one, because the first one is just, in my opinion, one of the greatest comedies ever made. But I was hoping to be better than Bogus Journey, but it wasn't. Bogus Journey was actually better than this. This was a little bit of a letdown. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed. I liked it, but I was a little disappointed by it. Let's get into my pros with it first. So, the chemistry between Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves is still there, and they both step back into these roles perfectly. Seriously, they were so great as Bill and Ted once again. I was a little worried, especially about Keanu, because Keanu has been playing serious roles since Bill and Ted. And I was a little worried that he wouldn't be able to step back into that role as well, but he did great. He did great. Clearly, I worried for nothing. This movie has some heart, and there's some touching moments in this movie. There's a scene, no spoilers of course, but there's a scene where like they meet themselves when they're super old, and it's a very, very nice scene. You really feel for these guys. It's a funny movie, not near as funny as the other two, but it's funny. It's very creative. It was well casted, especially the daughters. Bill and Ted's daughters were very well casted. I thought that those two were wonderful as their daughters. They were fun because they had like the same personalities as their dads, and they did a really good job. Especially Ted's daughter, they did a really good job. It has some really great special effects. One of the things the last two movies struggled with was special effects, but this one, you know, now that CGI is like perfected now, you don't really have to worry about that. It's got some great costumes in it, and overall, I feel like it sends a good message. We live in a time where unity is desperately needed in the world. And this movie, it sends a good message about unity and love. And I think that's something that's really needed nowadays, where everybody hates each other just because they disagree with them about politics. You know, it didn't used to be that way. It used to be we respected each other's political views, but now we can't do that. And because people are intolerant of other points of views. And so it was nice to have a movie that sends a message about unity. It was really, really nice to see that. It was very refreshing, and I really, really appreciated that about this film. So let's get into my cons with it. It's not super funny, to be honest with you. It was funny. There were times where I laughed, but most of the jokes in the movie didn't really land for me, surprisingly. A lot of the movie I kind of thought was a little stupid. I didn't laugh. See, the first one is hilarious. The second one is really funny. This one is sort of funny. Yeah, that was kind of disappointing. It's got some plot holes in it. I won't go into those plot holes because I don't want to spoil it, but there's a couple of plot holes in this movie, noticeable plot holes. And Bill and Ted's character arcs don't make any sense. Basically, because their character arc is like trying to improve their relationship with their wives. Because like I said, their marriages are struggling. And it just, I want to talk about it, but I think I'm going to give my rating first before I talk about it. But basically, their character arcs are a plot hole, are one of the plot holes in this movie. So if you don't want to spoil it for you, you can click away after I give my rating. But I'm going to give my rating first, and then I'm going to talk about this. But my last con with it is that their character arcs are a plot hole. Unless I seriously just missed something, I think their character arcs are a plot hole. But overall, I enjoyed it. You know, it was all right. I'm going to give Bill and Ted Face the Music a 70 out of 100. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Pilot Planet Entertainment for more, and hit the like button. Leave movie reviews and suggestions down in the comments down below. Follow me on Instagram at Pilot Planet Entertainment for channel updates. And okay, here comes the spoiler. Okay, you have been warned. Here comes the spoiler. So in the movie, they go to marriage counseling with their wives, and it's a really funny scene because they keep looking at the counselor's like, tell your wife you love them, and then Bill and Ted will look at their wife and they'll be like, we love you. And the point is to get them to say, I love you, not we love you guys. And toward the end of the movie, they both look at their wives and they're like, I love you. But the problem is that nobody told them that that's what they were doing wrong. I mean, the therapist like looks at them and says, try saying I love you. And then they can't even get that right. So it's pretty obvious they don't get it. And so for them to randomly out of nowhere get it without talking about it any further, without thinking about it any further, they just randomly get it. And it made no sense at all. It's a small spoiler, but I figured some people might not want to know that going into it. But yeah, that was one of the plot holes of the film. Much love. Thank you so much for watching.